Welcome to Broke Horse Moms, the podcast for all of us who thought our kids riding horses was just a phase. Turns out it wasn't, and honestly, I am so glad we were wrong. I'm your host, Angie Trueblood, the OG Broke Horse Mom, and I'm here to laugh, learn, and figure out this wild, wonderful sport right alongside you. Let's giddy up, friends. Okay, do not even get mad at me, friend. This episode is for you. I know. It's releasing on November 4th, and the title includes the words holiday gift guide, which is bananas. But if you're anything like me, some of my friends and family start asking what to get the kiddos for Christmas in October. So I'm actually late to the party. The inspiration for the episode actually came from a family member who a couple of years ago bought one of those Horse Girl starter kits off of Amazon for Chloe. It was super cute, super thoughtful, but it was filled with cute trinkets like a hat, a mug. It had a zippy pouch with a pony on it, when in reality, we had a list a mile long in my brain that she could have used over the winter and during the upcoming show season. I just hadn't taken the time to pull it all together. So the next year, when Christmas rolled around, I had Chloe make her own Amazon wish list, and I had her pull together some links from her favorite stores that I could also share with family members. It was so easy to be able to email or text even the link to family and friends, and people loved knowing that they were getting her items that she would really use. So I am paying it forward and doing this for you. Now, before we get into the gift giving part of the holiday gift guide, if you want all of the links sent to you in one place, which trust me, you do, then make sure you are signed up for the Broke Horse Moms newsletter. If you're not, you can go to brokehorsemoms.com/newsletter and check that off your to-do list. If you're already on the newsletter and you're getting it every other week, you will get the holiday gift guide in your inbox very shortly, so you do not have to remember a thing. Now, one more quick pause before we dive into the gift list. I wanted to share a little behind-the-scenes update. So producing the podcast, writing the newsletter, and creating the behind-the-scenes content does take time, money, and honestly, a fair bit of mental load, which is in short supply these days. Moms, if you know, you know. So instead of juggling a ton of affiliate links and free product deals that a lot of the brands that we love offer, I have decided to focus on sharing the products that we love the most and having honest conversations that help families navigate this wild, wonderful horse world without all the noise. So I will be sharing affiliate links and discount codes when we love the product, and the link is fairly easy to get, but I am not planning to become the Zulily of the horse world. So if you have ever found something here helpful, funny, or just plain relatable, and you want to support what we're building directly, I've set up a Buy Me a Coffee page, which a lot of my podcaster friends have. You can make a one-time $5 contribution or a recurring $500 contribution, just throwing it out there that is an option. Basically the cost of half a bag of shavings, and it will help keep the content authentic, useful, and created with you in mind. You can find the links for that page in the show notes, or you can go to brokehorsemoms.com/shavings. Now, back to the fun stuff. The 2025 Broke Horse Moms Holiday Gift Guide. So I've organized the gift guide into 3 main categories: gifts for the rider, gifts for us, the mamas, and gifts for the trainer. Now, the bulk of it for sure is for our rider, but still, I didn't want to leave us out. So 3 mom hacks before we get into the products. Number 1, For any of the items that can be bought on Amazon, which I will be linking to in the newsletter, I highly recommend that you create an Amazon wish list that you can share with family and friends. That way, you've got something to share with them that is handy and easy to share, filled with items that make sense for you and your family. Number 2, it's early enough in the holiday season to not have to purchase an item right now unless it's on sale, which actually many already are because Black Friday seems to be anytime after Halloween these days. But if you're eyeing a product that's full price and I don't have a discount code for you, sign up for that brand's email list. For sure, you will get some sort of discount for signing up, and likely you'll end up getting notified when their sale starts. Finally, here's my little holiday budgeting hack. So there are some things on this list that feel quite pricey, like new show boots or winter breeches. Winter breeches, because they are. If you're going to end up buying these things anyway sometime during the year, putting them on the Christmas list actually saves you money because the bigger ticket items come out of your holiday budget instead of your random January or March budget. If you're like me, March is the month that we usually feel the most broke because we are ramping up lessons, show fees, and God forbid, hopefully some kind of family vacation. Okay, so we're going to start with gifts for the rider, and we're going to focus on apparel to start, and we'll go head to toe. So, helmet, top of the head. If it is time for your kiddo to get an upgrade to their helmet, or if they have had a lesson helmet for a while and now they want to invest in a show helmet, you can do so now. And this is one of those pricey purchases that you can kind of loop into your holiday budget. Tip for buying a helmet: be sure to take a trip to a tack shop for this one to make sure you get the right fit, unless you already know the brand and the size that your kiddo needs and that their head has stopped growing, which I don't know when or if that ever happens, but definitely make sure you know the right size. Ordering this one online to me is a little bit dangerous. Next, we're going down to the ears and the neckline with jewelry. So, jewelry for most girls is always a hit. There are so many cute earrings and necklaces out there. I even got a horse necklace for my birthday and loved it. I'm currently obsessed with Armor Equestrian. You know them from previous episodes. I interviewed one of the co-founders, Jen Nelson. They do all things glitter and stickers and stencils. And now they do all things glitter and stencil and stickers and jewelry for horses. And they have the cutest horseshoe earrings. You can go to their site, armorequestrian.com, and if you use the code BHM, that's capital BHM, you will get 15% off your purchase. So definitely check out the horseshoe earrings. They are super cute. Next on the list are fun horse sweatshirts. A couple of years ago, my best friend got Chloe what has become a fan favorite. It's a sweatshirt that says, "Sorry, can't. Horses, bye." And I think she got it on Etsy. Etsy is filled with some of the cutest tops, like t-shirts and sweatshirts for kiddos and adults. So don't leave yourself out, mama, if you're poking around on Etsy. Then we're going to get into the long-sleeved riding shirts. If you live in an area where it does get cold in the winter, I don't want to talk to any of you WEC or Ocala people. If it's still warm down there in Florida, you can look at one of our previous newsletters where I shared a bunch of short-sleeved and tank top riding shirts. But for those of us heading into winter, your kiddo might likely need a long-sleeved riding shirt. Now, what I have discovered is that teens, maybe mine only, but many of them seem to have this obsession with seamless riding shirts. So I have several different options that I'm sharing with you. We're going to order them in the ridiculousness of the cost, starting at the top of the line. So Lululemon, I know, has a shirt called a Swiftly Tech long sleeve shirt 2.0. It retails for $78, but I will say it's a really nice gift if you're for Christmas season, holiday season, if you're giving your kiddo something a little bit more special than normal. It's a fun gift for them. Everyone in the teen years loves Lulu, which is pure insanity, but it is what it is. So if you want to spoil them, go right ahead. There's a couple of other options, though, that offer a very similar shirt. I would even go so far as to say a dupe of the Lululemon. Free Ride, which is one of our favorite brands of apparel, they have a seamless long sleeved top that when it's regularly priced is $45. And we have a code where you can get 10% off your order. So if you check out at Free Ride and use the code BHM, you will get 10% off your order. And then there's a couple of brands on Amazon that are even less expensive. So Math Cat has always been a brand that Chloe really likes. And then there's another one, I think it's pronounced Luya, and we'll link it again in the holiday gift guide. But they've got these workout tops that are long sleeved, seamless, and right now they're $14. So depending on your budget, depending on if you want this item to be the mainstay of Christmas, giving your kiddos some Lululemon swag, or if you want it to be, just something that they can functionally use and love, I'll give you the entire array on the gift guide. Now, Chloe has really taken to the idea of a riding vest. A lot of her friends had those. And so I think it was last season, we started looking for a vest that she could wear when she rides. And I guess the benefit of a vest is that you keep your arms free and you're not wearing like a really bulky winter coat. So you can find 1,000 of them at any of the traditional equestrian apparel sites. That said, don't sleep on your local consignment shops. We actually found a quilted J. Crew vest last year at Uptown Cheapskate, and she's really enjoyed it, wore it today. So I really like the idea of a $20 vest instead of $100 plus. Speaking of vests, I'm looking ahead at my list. So this heated vest has popped up on her Christmas list this year. It's a brand called Ororo, Ororo, and it actually has battery packs that heat the vest when you wear them. She has put the quilted version on her list. It's very pricey. I think it's under $200. But I mean, if it's freezing outside, it does look like it could be a great option. This could be another like mother-daughter gift giving opportunity to where you both get one. But check it out. It looks cool. Anyone I've talked to that has it, rave about it. So I'm excited if she gets it to see how it kind of shakes out. Next up are some show clothes. So if you know that your kiddo is going to be showing in the spring, in the summer, and then in next fall, and you have some items that need replacing, this is a great time to kind of pepper in some of these expensive items so you don't have to, buy a riding jacket in March. Maybe you just buy a little saddle pad in March. So brands that are pretty solid, aka can be expensive for show clothes. Chloe is a big fan of the tailored sportsman pants, RJ Classics. There's one that we talked about when I interviewed Jen Connor from Riders Rent. I think it's a Charles Ancona. And then Chloe actually likes the tailored sportsman sun shirts. So those are long sleeved and they're great for jumpers because she wears those as her actual show shirt. So just consider if you're going to be needing to buy a riding jacket and the one that you're looking at costs $200. I mean, that could be a great gift from Santa, my friend. Next up, we're keeping with the warm theme, are some winter breeches. Again, Free Ride is Chloe's go-to for breeches that she wears at home during lessons, during her rides. We'll link to them. They have a really nice pair of thermal pants that are so cozy on the inside. And then Carrots also offers some of these thermal breeches, and I'm sure Amazon has a ton on there. Just check the reviews. So the free ride ones, you can still get that 10% off with code BHM, and we'll link to it so you know the exact ones that she loves. All right, we're moving down the body. We are at the feet, my friend. So boots. This is very similar to the cautionary tale of buying a helmet online, but I highly recommend getting riding boots in person if you don't know the exact brand and the exact size that fits your kiddo. Returning boots is not for the faint of heart. Ask me how I know. Just trust me. Go to the store to get the boots. Even then, they probably will rub a blister on your kiddo's feet and they're going to have to kind of navigate through that breaking them in. So buy them in person when you have the chance. The other type of boot is a muck boot. Now, it took us a little bit for Chloe to get muck boots because she wasn't always working at the barn necessarily in the winter. But when we did, we got her a brand off of Amazon. I will link that because that's the brand that she wears. They're a little bit taller. But then I am obsessed with the Extra Tough brand, which are waterproof and they're more ankle boots, which I had gotten a pair of muck boots myself to kind of try out. But when I wore them, I just didn't like the way they fit me. They weren't comfortable. The Extra Toughs are phenomenal and they're kind of cute. You can wear them not just to the barn. So if your kiddo doesn't have a pair of muck boots, we'll link to a couple of options, but that's something to think about, especially going into the winter. Okay, so that does it for really rider apparel. I have a couple of more gift ideas for your kiddo. And the first is quite a rite of passage. If your kid has not gotten their first tack trunk, Christmas is a perfect time to gift them with that. You can find them fairly affordably at Lowe's and Home Depot. Most of the kiddos that we've been around the barn with love the Husky brand, but it's such a rite of passage and such a special gift to get on Christmas. Plus, bonus, you can fill it with their other gifts, right? You don't have to wrap, mama. So, my next gift idea is one that we actually gave to Chloe last year for Christmas. We gifted her a set of 3 canvas prints of her and some of the horses she had ridden that year. She loved it. They hung on her wall for like 3 months before she redecorated, but it was a really special gift to be able to give at Christmas. And from my perspective as a mom, it was very affordable. So we ended up getting the digital prints from the folks who had taken the pictures. Some were free of charge, others we had to pay a small fee. And then I got them printed at Walgreens, and it was like a same day printing job. I was able to pick it up. We got pretty large ones. I think it was 18 by 20, but still, all in all, the total gift I think was under $100. So think about that. If you've snapped a couple of pictures this year of your kiddo and their horse, or maybe there's some show photos that they really loved, it's a great way to commemorate and keep that memory alive without breaking the budget. Now, the last grouping of gifts under gifts for the rider are really for the horse. But really, are they for the horse? They are gifts that a horse will use, but I don't actually think the horse cares much whether or not they get this gift. I think your rider still does. So that's why they are under the rider section of the gift guide. So first is a leather halter. Chloe got one, I think, before show season this year for Phoebe, and she loved it. And I will say the horse looks very cute in it. She got her leather halter, I believe, from Dover. She really liked the Suffolk brand, but I think, again, this might have been one that we bought in person so that she could kind of fiddle around with the sizing and the latching and all of that. So leather halter. Obvi saddle pads, and you can get them all the way from $20 maybe on Smart Equine, which is the brand formerly known as Smart Pack. So Smart Equine and Dover, they've got tons of saddle pads. And then you can get into LeMieux, which again is one of those costlier brands, but it's pretty special. So if your kiddo has their heart set on a LeMieux saddle pad, maybe surprise them at Christmas time. I don't know. And then speaking of LeMieux, you can go bananas crazy over on their website and get an entire set, a matching set, if you will, of color coordinated pieces for both horse and rider. You can get a saddle pad, a halter with a lead rope. You can get a matching ear bonnet, a matching shirt or pants for your kiddo. If you really love to match things, or if you have a family member who really loves to gift your child things, I would say some items from LeMieux would be very appreciated by your kiddo. So that does it for the types of gifts that your kid might unwrap. I did pull some ideas for stocking stuffers because for me, I love the idea of stockings and the fun that comes with seeing what Santa has put in them. So, a couple of ideas are obviously one of our brands that we love. We're actually an ambassador of Pin Snickety. They have the really cute show pins, they've got stickers, they even have shirts that are seamless. So your kiddo might love those as well. So definitely check out Pin Snickety. Cute little pins you can just drop right in the stocking, or Santa can drop right in the stocking. Obviously, you can get some fancy horse treats, those German horse muffin treats that the kiddos seem to love to give their horses. They are insanely expensive, but it's Christmas. What's money, actually? Riding socks are always a great idea to put in the stocking. And then gloves. So there's actually two types of gloves that I would recommend you considering for Christmas. First are work gloves. If your kiddo does any chores at the barn, there is a pair that actually Jen Nelson from Armor Equestrian recommended to us, I think, a couple of years ago. The Carhartt brand of winter gloves. I'm going to link them in the holiday gift guide. They're amazing. We always lose them, and then I rebuy them because they are perfection. So those are really warm, cozy gloves that are waterproof. So if you're doing anything with water buckets, you're good to go. Now, these next two, there's one more pair of gloves, and then I had an idea this year. I have not implemented it, but I think I'm going to, is to keep sort of an emergency show pack of things at home, hidden, where I've written down where they are so I don't forget them, which is something I do. But I want to keep a couple of items that Chloe always seems to either lose or not have at showtime. And one is a pair of riding gloves. She loves the brand. I think it's pronounced Rockle. I have a link for you. You can get them on Amazon. And so I actually want to keep a pair of those behind the scenes at the house so that if it's the day before a show and she's lost one of them, I have them without having to scurry around. If your kiddo has never had a riding glove, those are great brands. That is a great brand, so I'd highly recommend getting them a pair. And then the other kind of show emergency thing I'm going to get are a couple of hair nets. So she's a big fan, as are most kiddos, of that no knots hair net. You can get them on Amazon. It's so worth having them as a backup so that we are not scurrying around before a show trying to figure out where the hairnet is. So that's my other like mom hack that will stick in the stocking stuffer section. A winter headband is also a really great idea. I'll link to one in the holiday guide, the one that we got Chloe last year for Christmas, but you can actually wear it under your helmet when you're riding and it covers your ears and it just generally keeps the kiddo warm when they're riding in the dead of winter. Oh, your kid doesn't ride in the dead of winter? Oh, it might be just mine. Next up, you can definitely put some of those tack trunk supplies, maybe grooming supplies and equipment, hoof picks, brushes, hoof oil. If you're not sure, like I was and still am, ask your trainer. Like, what do you think my kiddo would need for the coming either show season or couple of months? What can I stock up on to sort of help them out? And you can definitely stick those down in a stocking. Another thing that we got Chloe, I think 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4, when she first started riding, was a Christmas ornament of a horse, just to kind of, symbolize that she had started riding horses and she liked it. Those are always cute to kind of have over the years. And the other item is like a total pipe dream that it would ever be used, but Apparently, among the teens, there's a brand of hand sanitizer called Touchland. I know you can get it at Target. Super bougie, super expensive. I mean, like $10, but for hand sanitizer, that is very expensive. My hope is that she would have it and use it at the barn between picking out the hooves of a horse and maybe eating lunch. I don't think that happens, but I like to believe that if I put it in a stocking, maybe it's more likely to happen. So that little hand sanitizer is a big, it's something that it's all the rage among the kiddos. I just don't know if they actually use it. All right, that wraps it up. That's a ridiculous amount of gifts for our kids. What about us as moms? What do we get? Um, I would recommend if you're going to put things on your wish list for the season, focus on things that will make you more comfortable at the barn, especially in the winter. For me, I found that this was the biggest challenge really for any season and shows was what could I wear that was really functional, that I felt remotely cute in, but that could also get disgustingly dirty. Now, I didn't really care if I looked cute at the barn, but for horse shows, you're standing out there, you might be in pictures, but you're also handling a horse. So, what are the things that you can get that kind of bridge that gap? I highly recommend for muck boots. I know I raved on about them in the kids section, but the extra toughs, super cute. They're great for not just like muddy, rainy days, but early mornings at the showgrounds when there's dew on the grass. I mean, I've definitely soaked through a pair of tennis shoes before and wish I would have not left my extra toughs at home. So check those out. I can't recommend those enough. I would say also a nice winter jacket because it gets really cold in the winter. You're sitting out in these lessons. They're working, right? They're riding the horse. And so they don't necessarily have a winter jacket on or it comes off in the middle. But we as moms remain freezing cold. So I would invest in a jacket. If you don't have a good winter coat, I got one a couple of years ago, a Marmot, Marmot, and I love it. And a couple of my friends at the barn, one has more of a full length coat, and that's a brand 32 Degrees that looks amazing that I'm going to kind of check out. But get yourself a winter coat, Mama. You deserve it. Similarly, a winter hat. You can always put that on your list. Cute little beanies are always nice to have. And again, these Carhartt gloves that I'm telling you are life-changing. They're practical. I won't say they're cute. I mean, they're not ugly, but they're not especially cute, but they're doable for the purpose that they serve. So those are sort of my apparel gifts suggestions for you, Mom. And then also, I cannot underscore the jewelry enough. Again, I got the horse necklace for my birthday, and I also got a pair of horseshoe earrings, which I had asked for, and I love them. So if you're all into the horse thing because of your kiddo, the way that I am, splurge. Get yourself a little something cute for Christmas. All right, last and certainly not least, gifts for trainers. Now, this is where you have to figure out, are you going to go practical and give them something that they might use at the barn? Or are you going to give them something that they might use on themselves that they would typically never spend money on or do for themselves? So practical ideas first. And you can always do a combination, actually. We did this a couple of years ago with our trainer, and I think she really appreciated that we were getting things for the barn and then also some things for her. So I asked Christine, Chloe's trainer at Fine Creek Equestrian today, I said, Christine, what would you like to get for Christmas? And she said, hay. So I don't think we're going to be getting our trainers hay, although that would actually be hilarious if we did get a couple of bales of hay and put a bow on it. But anywho, we made a stocking one year and we got a lot of the things at the barn that always seem to get lost. So double-ended snap hooks, those things that kind of hold the water buckets up, but that also hold hay nets when you go to shows. We put scissors in the stocking, Sharpies, all the types of things that anyone at the barn really seems to be looking for, but specifically the trainers. Next, gift cards are always welcome. You can do Smart Equine again, Dover, Tractor Supply if you're close to it. Any of these are great places that they can go to get supplies for the barn, right? And then you can even get more equipment like items if you know that your trainer is looking for a couple of new jumps or standards. You can go in with other families at the barn to splurge and get these bigger items. You can also get them like a really nice high quality pitchfork or broom. And I mean, their day will be made sometimes, right? So those are kind of the practical ideas. Then I would recommend a couple of personal things that allows them to recognize that you see them as a person, not just as the trainer, right? So I will caution any of these with making sure that you feel like the trainer would use it. So yes, many would love a spa or a massage gift card. The question becomes, would they ever use it? And so you've got to gauge that based on what you know about the trainer. Like, would they go get their nails done? If so, cool, give it to them. If not, it's a waste of a gift. And then the other thing, I know a lot of barns, and our barn in particular, we've talked about getting personalized barn gear or clothing, and we just haven't made it happen for a myriad of reasons. But typically, you could probably get one or two pieces of clothing, and you likely have a friend that has, I think it's a Cricut or something, to where they could put the barn logo on it. I bet your trainer would love to get that if they don't already have access to getting branded gear. So, just a couple of ideas for the trainers. They pour so much into our kids, the barn, and the horses that don't let them be an afterthought this season. Like, really plan and see if, getting them something special is in the budget, and make it happen, my friend. All right. I think that's it. I mean, your holiday list making is basically done, right? I mean, it's done. I did it for you. Before I wrap up, I've gathered together the discount codes because I don't want you to miss out on a deal. The first is Armor Equestrian, armorequestrian.com. That's the business that has all the glitter, all the stencil, the sparkle, the jewelry, and now they have these new amazing candles that I'm quite obsessed with. My favorite is Past Your Bedtime, which you have to go on their site to check it out. But go to armorequestrian.com, and at checkout, if you use code BHM, all capitals, you'll get 15% off your order. I just tested it. Free Ride Equestrian, tons of apparel for riders, and the website is shopfree.com. I think it's shopfre.com, or just Google Free Ride Equestrian. And at checkout, if you use code BHM, you will get 10% off. And then Smart Equine, which again is the new name of Smart Pack. That's where you can get tack, gear, so much more. I just started a subscription for supplements for Phoebe. If you use this link when you go to the website and you give them your email address, you will get $20 off of your next purchase. So go to brokehorsemoms.com/smartequine, put in your email address, and you'll get $20 off your next purchase. So enjoy those codes, my friend. All right, so whether you are shopping for your kid, your trainer, or yourself, I do hope that the list has helped you feel a little more prepared, maybe a little less broke this holiday season. All the discount codes will be in the show notes, and the full 2025 holiday gift guide will be sent straight to our email community the day this episode drops. If you're catching it a little bit late, no worries. You have not missed the opportunity to shop. Just head to brokehorsemoms.com/newsletter, and I will put the gift guide in the welcome email for you. And remember, if something from this episode or a previous newsletter made you laugh, helped you save money, or just made you feel seen, consider supporting the show with a small gift through Buy Me a Coffee. You can find it over at brokehorsemoms.com/shavings. It's basically our version of tossing like a few extra flakes of hay in the stall of your favorite horse. All right. Thank you for being a part of Broke Horse Moms. Happy shopping, happy riding, and happy early holidays, my friend. Friend, thanks for listening to Broke Horse Moms, the podcast for all of us who swore this was just a phase. Want more? Head to brokehorsemoms.com and sign up for our virtual Barn Family newsletter. That's where I share behind the scenes extras, show season survival tips, gear recommendations, and horse mom life hacks. Basically, it's everything I wish someone had told me when Chloe first said she wanted to try horseback riding. I'll see you there.